Every day, the soldiers were busy killing fish and then dumping the fish chunks into large pots to cook. But they weren't cooking for the meat. Instead, they took the fish oil that cooked out, poured it through funnels into eggshells, and once the eggshells were full, they put them into jars of different sizes to save. The general thought the fish oil wasn't powerful enough, so he had the soldiers add saltpeter to it. This time, the power of the fish oil bombs increased a lot, and the general was finally satisfied. The reason they made fish oil was that 800,000 enemy soldiers were coming to take over their home. Before this, the enemy soldiers from the north had trouble with the local water and soil, and hundreds of them had high fevers every day that turned into a plague. To stop the plague from spreading, the bodies should have been burned. But the tricky enemy army didn't do that. Instead, they put the dead soldiers on boats and sent them to the enemy's land. The next day, the soldiers who didn't know what was happening picked up the bodies without any protection. Luckily, the military advisor thought something was wrong and quickly stuck a silver needle into the bodies. When he saw the needle turn black and shiny, he immediately told everyone to put on masks and stay away from the bodies. But because there were so many bodies, many soldiers still got the plague. The soldiers already had fewer men than the enemy, and the sudden plague made them very confused. Now they didn't have enough soldiers, and they only had 50,000 swords. If they had to fight, they wouldn't have a chance of winning. At this time, the military advisor stepped forward and promised to find 100,000 arrows. But because the food would only last for 10 days, the officer only gave the advisor 10 days to make the arrows. Surprisingly, the strategist said he only needed 3 days. 2 days passed, and the advisor hadn't made a single arrow. He just spent all day watching if a turtle would cry. On the evening of the third day, the turtle finally cried, which meant that there would be a big fog on the water that night. The advisor found 10 boats made of grass and arranged straw figures around the boats to look like people. Then he took advantage of the fog to get close to the enemy. There were only a few dozen soldiers on the boats, and their main job was to beat drums to make a lot of noise and pretend that a big army was going to attack. Then they pretended to start a rain of arrows first. The enemy officer, worried about a trap, confidently ordered all his navy to shoot arrows. The straw figures on the boats were quickly shot full of arrows like sieves. The advisor calmly stayed inside the grass boat, drinking tea. When he saw the boat starting to tilt from the weight of the arrows, he calmly ordered the boat to turn around and then collected the arrows. When the boat reached its weight limit, he had the men stop beating the drums and return to the camp. Before retreating, he even sincerely thanked the enemy officer for the arrows. In this way, the advisor easily made 100,000 arrows in just one night, without using any manpower, material resources, or money.